Welcome back to another Sunday prep day video. Thank you for everyone that subscribed because the numbers really went up. And this week I have Frank with me.
Hi, I'm Holly and I'm going to be helping make some pulled pork today.
Yeah, and we're going to make some hummus and some chickpeas. And we're just going to prep all the veggies for the week. So I have some pork here, just some stewing pork. We can put that in the Ninja Foodie.
Now?
Yes.
Okay. I have the back one open.
Yeah.
And we use some oil?
Nope, we're just going to slow cook it. Well, pressure cook it.
Do I just dump it in?
Yeah, just dump it in. And we have some rice wine, apple cider vinegar, and some salt.
How much am I going to put in of this?
About half a cup, I would say. It's not too much pork.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that should be about enough. And we have some salt, and we're gonna make it a little bit spicy. Or should I just use the chipotles for the barbecue sauce? I think I'll just do it for the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's probably better. You'll taste it more.
Yep. And then we'll add a bit of water. You don't need to cover it all, but about halfway up. There's also a kettle right there.
You get the extra flavor from the meat.
Yes. So because it's gonna pressure cook, you don't have to cover it completely. But
I'm just gonna take the pieces apart and lay them flat, sort of.
Yep.
I think this is about right.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And then we have pressure cooker lid.
Alright, so we just probably put that on.
Yep. And we make sure the valve is closed on. Then you'll put it to pressure, which is one. Yeah.
Yeah.
High pressure. There's a time button.
Yeah.
These are already chunks, so I would do about 50 minutes. If you're using a whole cut, it would be about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
This is like 45, 50 minutes until it falls apart. And then, yep, press, okay. That's it.
All right.
And shall we also get the chickpeas started?
Sure.
Because then we have the other Ninja Foodie.
Let's do that.
We have 1 cup of chickpeas. And you're going to add 2 parts water, so that's where you have the kettle right there. It just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Just the full cup, just like the chickpeas.
Yeah, just 2. Because you're going to have twice as much liquid as solid.
Yeah. Are we going to add any seasonings in
Just some salt.
There's something floating in there. I'm going to grab it.
Just a good pinch of salt.
Alrighty.
Yeah, and then we grab the other pressure lid. Yeah, the thing with the Foodie is the top part always stays on, even though that's just for air frying. Yep. Make sure the valve is closed. That means turn clockwise as far as possible. Yeah. Okay, press the button.
This one?
The round button. And we're going to pressure cook that for 20 minutes on high.
Alright.
Okay, and then we'll get started. This is the part where I usually go over my menu. You can cut some onions if you like.
Sure.
You can just cut these in half rings. I'm gonna use these for my burgers tonight, and tomorrow I'm gonna do a chickpea and tomato curry. I'm gonna need some onions for that. I'm gonna do a stir fry, and actually I should have put some onion in to go with the pulled pork, so I'll just saute it instead.
Would we still be able to put it in if we wanted to?
Yeah, actually we could, because it's not finished preheating yet. So if you press the button again now, on the back one.
This one?
Yep, because it's not up to pressure yet, you can unlock it. Just turn the lid, yeah, because it's not up to pressure yet.
Right.
So I'm going to take about half of this regular onion. You know what? we'll also throw in a few cloves of garlic.
Are you gonna bruise them or just throw them in?
Just throw. It's gonna pressure cook for almost an hour. They're
Right.
gonna be tender. Yes. Find the right groove. Yes. And then you have to set the time again. And just okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'm not really sure how thick you want the onion slices. Is it about like this?
Just relatively thin.
What you'd want to eat on a burger.
Yes. And then I'll also cut some garlic while you're doing the onions. I'm gonna use the garlic in the hummus.
Oh sure, you give me the onion.
I already did the other onion.
Ooh. The red ones are spicier.
That's where it helps to have a really sharp knife. Because the sharper the knife, the less cells you damage, so the less you should...
The less Allison comes out.
Yes.
Whew.
And what also helps is if we take this measuring cup and fill it with water and put that right there. Because
it should absorb the...
Yes, because it reacts with water. Normally it's in your eyes, but if this is closer, it will react with that first.
Okay. I'm not like really comfortable with our knives yet, so I'm cutting a little like a noob because I don't want to cut my finger off.
These knives will take your finger off for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And excuse me for a second while I wipe my face off.
Yeah. Here.
Thank you.
Did I pick the spicy onions?
Yeah. No, I cut onions a lot, and I have this at home as well, but...
Oh, you're just really sensitive to it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I always forget at this point. I always go through my menu for like the first 2 days, and then I get distracted and I stop talking about my menu. So tonight burgers. Tomorrow for lunch, low carb lunch is well, it's not super low carb because chickpeas do have some carbs, but it's hummus with crudités. And then in the evening it's vegetarian tomato and chickpea curry. And then Tuesday, what am I doing for lunch? I'm doing a low carb stir fry for lunch. I'm going to use some bean sprouts instead of noodles or rice. And then in the evening, I'm going to have pulled pork tacos because Taco Tuesday. If anyone has any recommendations for Taco Tuesday, by the way, let me know because I do it every week and it gets a little bit repetitive sometimes. And then Wednesday, I'm going to use the same pulled pork and I'm going to do some low carb wraps. I made some last time with protein powder and Greek yogurt, which was pretty good. So I just need to tweak the recipe a little bit. Once you've cut them, you can put them in there.
Yeah.
And then for dinner, I'm gonna do some chicken tandoori with naan. I'm not gonna make the naan myself this time. Usually I do, but this time I just bought some. And then Thursday, I'm gonna do Thursday.
It's gonna be a little too much for this container.
Oh, that's okay. We have more if you just want to split it out between the red onion and the regular onion. I should probably grab my laptop because that has my menu on it.
Well, I guess I'm here in the meantime.
Yes. Just keep the audience entertained.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to entertain you all. Yeah, I think it's entertaining enough with all the tears that I've already shed for this channel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thursday for lunch I'm gonna do, well I was gonna do chicken with broccoli, but I have some cauliflower. I bought some yellow cauliflower and some broccoli. So
it looks more orange than yellow.
Yeah,
really.
it's golden cauliflower. So we'll just do a little bit of all of that. So
alright.
maybe you can do that next. Just cut a little bit, enough for like a good portion.
The cauliflower?
Yeah, cauliflower, broccoli. You don't need to cut them all. Just enough of all three to make like one portion.
Okay. How much is a portion? Would it fit in here?
I don't like about
A cup?
About a cup of each.
Okay.
And if you leave the leaves on, it will
Mhm.
keep a lot longer in the fridge.
Sorry about that.
So, but yeah, if about half of that, that would be one portion, and just do that for all three.
Sure.
So, yeah, we can do that, and you can get a big container for that. And then I'll start on some cucumber for my hummus. Since I changed my menu last week, I don't have green peppers this week. Usually I do. Because when I do my hummus with crudités, I like to have as many colors as possible. Do like a little rainbow.
Yes, you eat with the eye first.
Yes. And you know, it looks better on Instagram.
Do you want me to cut them like this or something?
Yeah,
Smaller?
that's about the right size. I'm just gonna steam them so they don't have to be too fine.
Right. I think this is fine then, right? Or is it too big?
Yeah.
I like my vegetables in kind of bigger chunks, so I always ask.
I eat a lot of vegetables.
I really love broccoli, but there aren't a lot of vegetables I actually really like to eat that much. So I found like one cool thing that helps me like vegetables more is eating them Indonesian style, like in a sayur sauce.
Okay.
It has a lot of like garlic and shallots and stuff like that in it.
Oh yeah, so chicken with broccoli for lunch on Thursday. My lunches are all low carb. So in case you haven't caught on to the pattern. And then for dinner, I'm going to take some of the leftover pulled pork, I think, and I'm going to do like a rice bowl with some lime cilantro rice and some corn. I still have some cans of corn that I need to be used up at some point. So, yeah, I'll just make something nice. And then I also have, on Thursday, I'll chicken tandoori with naan. I might switch that around to the rice bowl or the tandoori chicken with naan. That's the thing why I prep the ingredients, not like the full meals, so I can still kind of change it around a little bit if I want to. But yeah, and then on Friday, I generally don't plan lunch. It kind of depends on what I have left over. And then for dinner, I'm gonna do a poke bowl. So I have some salmon. I'm just gonna marinate. I still have some pickled onions that need to be used up. And I'll just make that look nice. I have, what am I gonna make it in? What's that Korean spice paste?
Gochujang?
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna use for that.
So I have your cauliflower and broccoli done.
Yep, I'll put it over here. I'm just cutting onions for my hummus first and also just for the stir fry.
Should I be cutting your parsley?
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Yes, you can absolutely do that.
I'm just gonna remove some of the twigs because I think you grew this yourself.
Nope. I just bought it like that.
Well, there's a few twigs in it that I'm taking out. Has it been washed?
Nope.
Do you do that?
Nope.
Okay. Then let's not do that part.
I'm not American. Like, we don't have that many pesticides and stuff on our things.
No, but you can still get foodborne illnesses.
Yeah.
That's why, mostly.
I know Americans are obsessed with washing things, but
Actually, Chinese are more obsessed with washing things.
I don't know. In Europe, we wash something like spinach or leeks will also always have like a lot of sand in it, but
yeah,
we just don't use as many pesticides or the really terrible ones.
But it's not about pesticides, is what I'm saying. Only.
And yes, I'm a Euro snob, I'll admit to that.
Like, the reason I wash stuff is because I'm afraid there will be sand on it, because I think it could have, like, E. coli, you know, stuff like that. Like the tauge, the bean
yeah.
sprouts can have that, and other kind of fresh stuff if you don't wash it. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing, I have some peppers. Just gonna clean them. I'm gonna cut these in strips for my hummus, and then the other bits I'm just gonna cut a little finer for the stir fry.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah. You want a container for that?
Yeah, let's stick it in a container.
I really like these containers. I've been using them for years now.
Yeah, I know. You got all of them. They're like Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
I have like several $100s worth of containers.
Yeah, I know. I would never do that because I lose the tops, or I let food get gross in them and then throw the whole thing away.
You know the thing with these, what I like, there's a few different sizes, but whether or not you have these tall ones, or even twice as tall as this, or the narrow ones, they all stack, and they all have the same lid. And then I have the narrow tall ones for like my pantry stuff, and those all have the same lid too, and they come in different sizes. So if you can, for the peppers, if you can cut strips like this, and then the other part, just cut it finer for stir fry.
What other part?
Well, like if you cut it like, because I want
In half?
Yeah, like about this. I want the sticks about this long. So cut that into sticks.
Right. Okay.
And the other part is going to be too short for sticks. So we can just cut that for the stir fry. And who knows, maybe I'll make a little like salsa verde or pico de gallo style thing with this as well to go with my tacos.
Where are we putting the peppers?
Right here. And I'll get another one for the smaller pieces.
I'm not being as neat as Paul is here. I'm kind of just cutting them willy-nilly because I don't really think it matters as long as they're about uniform.
As long as it's small, it's perfectly fine.
I know that he would go crazy if he's watching me do it, but he's focusing on his own pepper, so...
I'm just choosing to ignore it.
Paul does not like my chaotic nature.
And I think this is enough peppers. I'll just save that one for another day. But maybe you can cut the tomatoes, just quarter them.
Sure. I guess it's really bothering you.
No, it's not actually. But I'll just do the chilies myself.
No, it's fine.
And then we're almost done with the chopping already. So yeah, I just do this every week and it takes me like less than an hour.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to making dinner or lunch, it's just 10 minutes or something. Because you just grab what you have and just throw it in a pan and it's done.
I always am afraid of things getting like slimy or the texture changing in the containers. That's a lot of reason why I don't do prep stuff.
It depends. Like these peppers, they'll last 5 or 6 days. No problem. If you just keep them in the fridge.
Yeah.
Some things, they're hit or miss. So those are things that I don't prep. I'm trying to think of an example right now, but it's just... I know these things, but it just when you need them too, you can't think of it.
Yeah.
But so
probably a lot of like fine herbs.
Well, herbs they just kind of dry out, so they don't spoil.
Yeah.
Like potatoes. Potatoes once you cut them, they don't last as long.
No.
So I don't usually food prep those. But like onions will easily last the whole week in the fridge. Peppers will last the whole week.
I like onions and garlic to be fresh because I really like that spicy like flavor they give. And I noticed that kind of diminishes, but if you don't like that anyway that much, it's probably fine.
Well, I also think it doesn't matter that much if you keep it airtight.
Okay.
It should be.
Yeah, because it's the reaction with the air, of course.
And that's why I can just stack these in there mostly airtight, or I put the lid on if I really like garlic. Garlic will evaporate real quick, so I always put a lid on that, and that's a tight lid. So, yeah, I just cut up a lime that we're going to use in a moment for the chickpeas to make hummus.
It's so light, it almost looks like a lemon, but I see that it's a lime.
Yeah. I prefer limes over lemons.
They're quite nice. I like them mixed because it gives a kind of a depth of flavor.
But if you have to pick?
Probably lemon. If we're talking about the fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Do we have something for the tomatoes?
Yep. Of course we do.
What I meant is, can I please have the container for the tomatoes?
Yeah. So, this is already done. We're just going to wait for the pressure cookers to finish now. And then we'll pick it back up. So, we'll see you back in a moment. And we're back. First, we're going to start on the barbecue sauce. Just put it on low heat. A little bit of olive oil. And just some yellow onion and some garlic.
I would put about this much.
Yeah, that seems about enough. And about that much of garlic. Just gonna sweat that down. Did you have the salt here? No, I have it here.
Do you mind giving me a utensil to stir with?
Yes. I would mind. But here's one anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the barbecue sauce is quite simple. It's just we're sweating down some onions and some garlic. I'm gonna add some fresh tomatoes basically because I have them and I'm going to use them up. And we have some tomato puree, and because I want to make it a little bit spicier and smoky, I want to use some chipotles. So, and I also have some smoked paprika on top of that. And instead of sugar, we're just going to use some liquid stevia.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I'm very short, so it's kind of hard for me to cook on that burner, but it's okay.
We don't need that much heat, so you can probably put it on the front burner high.
Sure.
So we sauteed the onions, now we're just going to add some tomato paste. And this is probably also where you want to add the chipotles. Probably just a good spoonful. No, that can go in completely.
I was like,
the chipotles just a heaped teaspoon, I think.
Yep.
So we want it nice and warm and smoky, but we don't want it like burning your head off. So you probably want to deglaze with vinegar.
Gonna have to turn it up a little bit if I want to deglaze.
Well, you don't have to wait. It's gonna go on for a long time. But you want to stop the tomato paste from burning.
Yeah, it's nowhere near burning. So.
Okay, well sometimes it gets away from you. So, and we'll just add a little bit of smoked paprika for the smoky flavor on top of the chipotles. It's kind of hard to get liquid smoke here.
I would recommend you to look at the bigger grocery stores for something called La Chinata. It's a Spanish smoked sweet paprika, and it's really nice.
I'm more looking at like liquid smoke. I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I get it. When you don't want to use paprika.
Yeah, because that's what you would normally use, but in America it's ubiquitous. But here it's not something we really have.
No.
If in case you haven't noticed, we're in the Netherlands. I'm Dutch. She's American.
Well, I'm actually Dutch now as well.
Oh yeah. So some things that are normal in America is just not really a thing here. So we're just gonna add some fresh tomatoes just because I have a bunch that needs to be used up, and we're gonna puree it at the end anyway. You can use just 2 cans of tomato paste if you want to. So yeah, we're just gonna let that cook down. And when it's all done, then we're going to add the liquid stevia. I don't want to add it too early because it kind of breaks down a bit.
Is that liquid for this?
Yes. But we're going to add that
later
once it's done cooking. because it just kind of breaks down and yeah, you kind of lose out. Okay, so you can just, I think we can just turn that all the way down and put the lid on.
But there's not enough liquid in it.
Oh, then we can just add some water from the kettle. That's why I filled it, and I completely forgot that we had to add that in this step. Oh, and I have a fancy spoon rest here either.
Oh, sweet. Just gonna make it a little bit jammy and then...
Yeah, and we'll just break down completely, and when it's done, we're just gonna use a stick blender. Okay. And then we're gonna make some hummus. So we have some limes. Normally I juice them by hand, but since we're using a fruit presso anyway, I'm just putting the juicer attachment on it, so you can do the honors. I realized this whole video is just me handing you stuff. Okay.
Alright, so we wanted to add the chickpeas to this, right?
Well, first you want to put the blade in.
Alright, here it is.
Yep. And add about half the chickpeas.
It would really suck if something just fit through that hole.
It'll just fall out the bottom.
I know, but that's why it would suck. I think that's about half.
Yep. And after we stopped filming earlier, we forgot our parsley, so we cut that. We're gonna add that. And some tahini. I stirred it, so not too much because it's only a small amount. And then I have some garlic. You know what? I'll put a little bit of onion in too. Not too much. And we're gonna make a spicy hummus, so you can add some of those chipotles.
About a teaspoon, right?
Yeah. We want the nice flavor, but we don't want the chipotles to completely take over.
No.
Just some salt. And I forgot to grab the cumin. And the parsley I actually grew myself.
Oh, nice. I think we're just gonna do this, and then it probably just goes up
actually, yeah, almost.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably want to add a little bit of the liquid that we reserved, but we'll see how it comes together first.
What is this, vegetable broth?
No, that's just the aquafaba.
Oh, it's aquafaba, okay.
Yeah, that's probably enough.
In my opinion, it's just right now.
Yeah, that's just right.
You should try it. It's your hummus, so.
Well, you're gonna take some home, aren't you?
Yeah, but I think you should try it. Because you might not agree with the texture.
Yeah, just the right amount of smoky.
And there's little bits that are still not cooked, which I kind of like.
Yeah, and it's salty, but it's not too salty. It's just a nice smoky, salty flavor.
Yeah.
I really like using chipotles in this.
It's really good. Where do you get these?
All the time?
I don't go there ever.
Me neither. It's because it was on sale and it's hard to find here. So yeah, we have our hummus ready. We're just gonna put that in a different container. We have our pulled pork. Our barbecue sauce is just going. That's gonna be going for like another hour or so, just until everything breaks down. We have our chickpeas ready. So yeah, that was it. So if you like this, subscribe, like the video. If you like having Holly on here, let me know and we'll see if we can get her back sometime. But yeah, thank you for watching and until next time.
Bye!